Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, my time, this afternoon, your time. So my name is Sonia Jordan-Kirwan. I'm BII's Gender Finance Lead. British International Investment is the UK's development finance institution. We recently rebranded from CDC Group, so you might also know us by that name. BII has a long gender journey. It's got a long history now. So in 2018, we officially launched our gender strategy, and in that same year became a founding member of the 2X Challenge, which Runa has so eloquently spoken to. That essentially was a mobilization target to I suppose encourage the G7 DFIs to commit $3 billion towards advancing women's economic empowerment. That was exceeded 3 times over, and subsequently we have set a new target for 15 billion for the period 2022 to 2022, so we're just approaching the end of that. BII has fully integrated gender into its investment decision-making processes, so we have corporate targets for our commitments each and every year. We table kind of gender considerations as part of each and every investment committee meeting, and our teams internally are also incentivized. So we've built it into our impact scoring system, which means that all of our investment professionals are incentivized to be on the lookout for either deals that have gender equality as a central component in terms of kind of the performance, I suppose, of an investee as at the point of investment, or the opportunity for us to support investees to become more gender smart over time. So very much built into BII's way of doing investment now. We don't invest significantly directly into healthcare. There are a number of reasons for that, though we are able to invest through our intermediated structures, including DPI, and Runa's already spoken to that. But I did want to just highlight a few of the ways in which we're investing in the African continent with kind of gender very much in mind. So one of them is through an investment in Summit PE, which was actually a first time, so an emerging fund manager that is Black owned and led, and qualifies for the 2X Challenge under leadership, employment and consumption criteria. So a really clear front runner with regards to 2X. What's really critical about Summit, they're a generalist fund, but with a focus on healthcare and financial services, including primary healthcare. But what's very much front and center of their own investment thesis is to ensure that transformation is a key part of this. So that means in the South African context, it's a South African and Southern African focused fund, thinking about how they can support companies once invested to become more gender diverse and more ethnically diverse, with a particular focus on Black economic empowerment over the course of their investment term. So that's one example that we are invested in, which has kind of a strong gender element. Another is Diversity, which is an affordable housing organization, also South Africa based, where 45% of the leaseholders are women, which is against a 25% average within South Africa. So really making affordable housing available to women. And then another example would be an investment in FMB, where 100% of the use of proceeds of our loan is directed to female-led SMEs. So those give you a bit of a sense as to some of the different ways in which we are investing with a gender lens within the African continent across a range of products, from funds through to direct equity and direct debt. I think I also wanted to highlight a few things that we struggle to invest in, which have strong gender impact, because I think it's important to be honest. And we have very large ticket sizes. So typically our smallest equity ticket is around 20 million, which really limits some of the things that we'd like to be able to do from a gender perspective. So we're not able to invest in as many first-time emerging female fund managers or gender-balanced teams as we would like to. And we're not able to invest in quite as many female-led businesses as we'd like to, because typically the sorts of investment tickets that that we see female founders looking to raise sits below what BII is able to invest directly, which is one of the reasons why our investment in financial institutions and also funds are really critical. But I wanted to highlight it because I see that also as an opportunity. And one of the things, Joanne, that you asked me to highlight is, what are my recommendations for other investors in the room? And one of the things I would say is try to invest where we can't. So the DFIs have played a really key role in supporting bringing a gender lens to the continent, but there's certain things that we can do readily, and there's certain things that are much, much more challenging for us. So investing those smaller ticket sizes is a really important one. That being said, also wanted to highlight some of the ways in which we're trying to push the boundaries when it comes to gender smart investment within the continent. So over the last year, I've been doing a lot of work to try to build in much more systematically commercial incentives for gender outcomes within our deals. So we have just recently invested, we supported to establish the African Forestry Investment Platform, which is a permanent capital vehicle which has been set up to invest in forestry projects, climate smart forestry projects in Africa. And as part of that, we've built in an impact related carry component. And gender is one of 4 components to that. So essentially, the more 2x businesses that the platform invests in, the higher the carry payout, which is a really clear way in which BII is looking to incentivize gender outcomes through kind of the commercial terms of its deals. Another example is in one of our debt investments, we have built in a marginal rate reduction of 10 basis points if the investee meets targets around female representation and senior leadership. So they pay, essentially, in layman's terms, they pay less interest if they meet their targets with regard to female representation. There are a number of other things that we're looking to do and that we are piloting and hopefully making much more mainstream within our portfolio, but that hopefully gives you a bit of a flavor as to some of the ways we're trying to be a little bit more intentional. A final one is investing.
I'm going to have to stop.